There we go. So we have spawning at the bottom right corner is the teal Protoss player from eSahara, player named Verdi.
Yep. And his opponent's going to be in the top left. It's going to be M Diestar, the Terran player. We're going to be entering this game on Shakuris Plateau.
Indeed. So we do have cross positions on this map. And this map is a pretty nice map because you have a pretty nice, safe natural where it has a wide ramp, but still it has a ramp. One of the few maps where you have a wide ramp, and which is really safe to get your expansion really quickly. You see a lot of Terran players going for quick expansion, sometimes even skipping their racks first. So we're going to see what Diestar is going to do, what kind of build order is he comfortable with, and what is he going to do on this map.
Okay, and also, we can go ahead and probably expect some kind of fast expand from Diestar, some kind of fast expand from Verdi, because this map is incredibly friendly for that because of that ramp that you were talking about. Can make it a little bit easier to defend because you do have that advantage of just being able to reinforce quickly and getting, in Terran's point of view, bunkers in order to defend some kind of very strong, say, 5-gate early attack from a Protoss.
Exactly. Now, because this map is very viable to go for that fast expand, sometimes a player can try to use that to his advantage and then go for some type of harassment. You know, and those type of harassment can be pretty strong, especially if you're going for double racks with Marauders to the Protoss base, and if the Protoss is not prepared, you can do some really nice damage. But we're going to see what Diestar is going to do, because Diestar is not going to go for the fast expand, obviously. He has taken his gas. His racks is almost done as well, so we're going to see what he is going to do here.
Yeah, so now actually looks like we're going to have a supply depot just going for a nice little thing. This is one of the small things that pro players can really do often, is just doing these tiny uses for the buildings that are just normally useless. So Diestar actually middling a supply depot on top left of his main gives him a nice bit of vision in a spot that is very, very vulnerable towards War Prism play and everything.
Ooh, nice. A little block off there by the probe just to deny that tech lab just a little further. You know, it's a nanosecond, it's not much, but I mean that those little subtle differences are really gonna make a huger difference in the end of the game. So that's definitely something to take into note here. We have a stalker coming out by eSahara.Verdi, which is very standard as well, and a second gas is up as well for Verdi. So we're gonna see what Verdi is gonna do from here on. In the meantime, we have one Reaper coming out here.
Yep, so looks like we're probably going to have a Reaper expansion from Diestar. It's a great way to do it, and on this map, it can be very, very powerful. So the command center was thrown down and everything, so we're going to be seeing the Reaper probably come down the bottom left and then move into the bottom right to Verdi's base and try and get that quick scout into the mineral line and take out a few probes.
And definitely, Reaper expand is very common. It's in kind of a scout build order where you build a Reaper, go scout your opponent, see what he's gonna do and what he is doing actually, just to be safe and to see whether you can be comfortable with your fast expand or build order or not. Now, meantime, we see that Verdi is actually going for Rovo and adding two gateways as well. So he's going to be a little bit more behind with his Nexus. But I'm not sure if he's going to stay on one Nexus build or if he's going to do some damage and then go into a Nexus build from there on, which is another option as well. We're going to see an Observer coming up. Now that's going to grant him vision.
Yeah, and now something that this build that Verdi's going to do, and unfortunately the Reaper does get a couple kills, so good job with the Reaper. But Verdi's going for this 3-gate robo, which means he throws out the Nexus, but he's going to have to do some kind of attack and try and get some damage done, because as you can see, Diestar has finished his command center, is coming into orbital command now, and so Verdi needs to do some kind of aggression against this, but he has a very, very nice infrastructure to get units out there in order to be aggressive against what Diestar has.
That is definitely the case. Now, we're going to see, though, what he's going to do is he's going to play safe, turtle up a bit more at home, or possibly go for a type of pressure build. So, we see that Verdi has a stalker placed at the edge of his base just to be safe for that possible Reaper popping up or not. And one Observer is going to scout here, finding a bunker.
Yeah. Alright, and now Verdi did just add on another gateway. He really seems like he's going to go for some kind of attack I'm curious to see whether or not he's going to actually build a warp prism or something from this robo, because he's not making anything else. Theoretically, he could go for an immortal bust against what diestar has. That should be a very powerful move, but he'd either just go for the harassment with the warp prism, or just do something along the lines of tagging to Colossi after poking in with just a few gateway units. There's a lot
it seems like. Yes, exactly. There's a lot of options, like you said, but it looks like he's going to go for the Colossus option. He's taking immediately from here on. He knows that the Terran is not going to be attacking because of the 2 bunkers. That usually indicates that the Terran player is kind of being really cautious. So when someone's being really cautious, you can use that to your advantage and take up right away. He's not only making a robotics base, he's also putting down a forge right away. And, you know, he just feels comfortable that he's not going to have the attack pretty soon.
Yeah, and looks like we're having Tess requested to leave, but oh yeah, everybody in the spectator chat is just screaming that Tess needs to quit now.
Oh well, that's not very important.
Just fun to note.
I guess. Well, no, notice that diestar really has map vision in the middle of the map. Like, we have a Reaper at the lower Zanark Tower and a Marine at the top Zanark Tower, so he has his map vision feeling pretty confident right now. 3 bunkers, OMG, that's a lot of bunkers, really. Usually you make 3 bunkers when you know that the Protoss player is possibly going to go for an all-initial attack or something, but no, diestar just wants to be really just safe, you know, building 3 bunkers.
Which is perfectly understandable. He knows that his expansion is definitely faster than Verdi, so there's no harm at all in just trailing off a little bit and trying getting more SCVs. Because as you can see right now, the probe count to SCV count is 45 to 42, which is a lot more even than if Protoss had gotten say a 1-gate expand, in which case Protoss could easily be approaching 50 or 60 probes and without too much difficulty.
That is true, definitely. But we're going to see, you know, it's still kind of close, but Terran player does have mules, of course, which grants him then that much bit of income, more income. But we see that the bunkers have already been salvaged here, and he's actually going to go for an attack here. We don't have a Colossus as of yet. The Colossus is going to come out soon. Thermal Lance is almost halfway done, so that's going to help a lot. But we have 3 sentries, and those sentries are going to be pivotal holding off this attack. Now what he wants to do is force field down his ramp and just be safe against this attack. But we're going to see is diestar going to opt to go for a double prong attack, or is he just go for a full frontal attack? Now I'm not really sure, but we're going to see.
Yeah, but 2 Colossi are out for Verdi. It's going to be a nice way to defend against this. But the problem is that diestar has a lot of Marauders. With only 2 Colossi out, they don't have Extend Thermal Lance quite yet. And we're going to see that diestar can get, theoretically, actually, he might just be pulling back and just trying to show a little bit of threat. But
yes,
doesn't seem to be stressing over the attack too much. Yep.
Yeah, this is not very smart for diestar to attack at this very point in time, because there are 3 sentries and 2 colossus, meaning he could like split his army, take out a lot of units, and that's going to be really pivotal. And I mean, Verdi is going to have such a huge fleet after that. So I would definitely not advise for diestar to attack right now, but we're going to see what he's going to do. I mean, sometimes you can add Ghost. You know, if he had a Ghost in this army composition, and if he managed to just shoot off one nice EMP, just depleting completely the energy of the sentries, that would have been a total different story. That is not the case right now. We're going to see some more and more Vikings added to the fray here, and that's definitely going to help him a lot.
Yeah, he's really emphasizing the Vikings to deal with the Colossi and not worrying too much about Ghost, because if you can just go ahead, deal with the Colossi in a few shots with the Vikings, kite them, do various shenanigans like that, then he'll have not too much of a difficult time getting a nice concave, because this is going to have this unit just dying in the middle of the map right now. See, the Vikings are going to have to be vulnerable to the blink, though.
Nice blink here, trying to pick up some Vikings, but he needs to be careful. All these units are right now, they are stimmed, but I mean, he has 2 minivacs.
But he's still Marauder heavy. Marauders take up 20 health per their stim, so...
Yes, I would love to see him adding more minivacs, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. So that is a smart move. Now, at this point in time, he needs to be really careful not to engage, have any type of bad engagement to on top of this army. I would love for him to add ghosts to this army composition as well. We see that diestar actually has Devil Engineering base, so that's going to help out a lot. If you look at the upgrades, it's 1-0 for diestar, whereas Verdi has 1-0 as well himself. So there we see one Marine being picked off. Forward place pylon, which usually is indicative of a very aggressive attack soon.
Yeah, and Verdi just finished the +2 attack, and that might be his cue to try and push into this, but that's a lot of Vikings that he's going to have to deal with. diestar has a huge army because he had such a strong economy compared to Verdi in the early game, that Verdi not attacking may end up being the bane of his existence, as he's going to try and, looks like he's going to try and push into this army. But he's got a lot of Blink Stalkers and Colossi, and could just go straight up into the main base with this army composition.
Exactly. Sometimes what you see that people do is actually have a observer blink into the main base and just leave the Colossus in there and then attack into the main base. However, Colossus can not go up to this cliff. That's a bit too high. We see that the forward planet is being taken out. One Stalker is being targeted. He needs to be careful with his army not clumping up. The army is coming, and these Vikings are targeting down the Colossus, not the right Colossus. So, oh my god, a lot of units going down here. He doesn't seem to have enough units to deal with this. Verdi is coming on top of this, really. Oh my god, he has lost so many units.
Yeah, that +2 attack is helping out so much. diestar just has his own +2 attack, but no armor upgrades, and now we're going to see a bunch of SCVs dying too, and Blink Micro to keep those Stalkers alive. This is not looking too good for diestar.
This is not very good, and there we see the GG by diestar being demolished there by